The video for April the 8th, 2017 is entitled More Promises and More Excuses. Well, I have not made a new video by myself in the past 4 days. 2 days airing my talk and the Q&A session, and one each with Christopher and Aristo. I was hoping we would have some real changes, since April was supposed to be when the RV would actually happen. Of course, there have been promises and excuses as to why things do not change for the better, going back several years now. It comes as little wonder to me that so many have become cynical. I suppose I'd get that way myself, but then what would I see as my reason for being on this apparently God-forsaken planet? Our patience is certainly being tried to extremes. Nevertheless, since I do not have a plan B, I expect to continue on as long as I still have breath in my body and still feel somewhat, or some connection rather, in my own quiet time with what I hope is truly a higher reality, God or whatever our Creator really is. I need purpose and meaning, not promises and excuses. I still await a cosmic shift. Yes, I sit here this morning pondering and meditating and wondering, and even after I wrote the blurb, I still wasn't ready to hit the record button and get going with this video, because I still feel an uneasiness within myself in relation to the lack of unfolding of justice, the unfolding of truth that liberates, real truth, not more of the BS and propaganda that's put out by the mainstream media and even a lot of the alternative media. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Of course, the pundits that have been in control of the world for a long time are calling everybody that's saying something other than what they want to say and telling their story. They call that fake news, when in fact the propaganda, the fake news, is of course the mainstream. The mainstream is the fake news. The ABC, NBC, CBS, even Fox News, which tries to put on a face of being an alternative media source. It still has an awful lot of same old stuff in it that the mainstream media, and CNN is probably one of the worst of all. And of course, the internet is becoming less reliable, as I learned a couple of days ago when I couldn't even post my own video on Facebook. It wasn't allowing me to put it on the way that I normally do. So Facebook and YouTube, or of course YouTube is Google, and that's all part of the problem, not part of the solution. When are the people that run these things, that continue this mission of control and domination, when are they going to let go? And when is God, Creator, going to finally do what was promised, and that is usher in the kingdom of heaven on earth? That is what I've lived for my entire life. That is my purpose for being. And while my patience is tried, while I get frustrated, there's no place else for me to go. Now, people say that there's going to be a cosmic shift. There are, many messages coming out about a cosmic shift in our reality. I mean, I've been hearing that for a long, long time myself as well. And yet it doesn't happen. The RV doesn't happen. Nothing that can be tangible and actually verifiable as a real shift occurs. It's all just promises and excuses, promises and excuses. They continue ad infinitum, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. And it's been going on all of my adult life anyway. because I expected, I really anticipated the second coming of Christ, if you wanted to call it that. I anticipated the manifestation of a verifiable kingdom of heaven on earth, but it doesn't occur. It doesn't occur. Now you say, Ron, it's only one lifetime. I mean, yes, and it's been going on for millennia, many lifetimes. I believe I've been involved in many lifetimes. And this is the lifetime that I had the cognition or the recognition that this one was the one that was going to be a mission fulfilled. And here I am, as I've said in other videos, 70 years old and still waiting. I thought it was going to be 2011, 2012, in that window of opportunity, and it came and went. Some said the new millennium was going to usher in, but what did we get? We got 9/11. We got another fake news story of some people blowing up buildings and flying airplanes into buildings, probably neither of which ever happened. It was probably holographic. I don't know. There's so much contradictory information that understanding and realizing what the truth is certainly a challenge to me and to many others, which, as I said, is why many people have given up. There's people that have been taken out. There are people that are being held in jail. There are others that simply have lost hope and lost faith and become part of the problem and not part of the solution. I'd like to be part of a solution. I'd like to be part of something that actually begins to bring people back to our destiny, which is, I feel, is to awaken and become the spiritual beings, the cognizant spiritual beings that we were created to be, and be healed of the dumbed downness that has been put upon us by the cabal and the dark minions for centuries, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and not even centuries, millennia, as I keep saying. This is certainly a challenge, and they talk about the Piscean age and the Aquarian age. Well, that's all well and good, but when is the Aquarian age of enlightenment going to actually take place? That's what I'm wanting. That's the shift that I'm looking for. And whether it's going to come with an RV or some other means, I don't really care how it comes. Only that it comes, that it actually happens, that the promises that I've believed since I was a little boy actually come to pass in a tangible way that we can experience and know for certain, and no longer be riddled with doubt and fear and unbelief, as we've been experiencing so long as a human family. Not just me, but as a human family, we've been experiencing this over and over again. And the people that have the most diabolical vision for the earth, a world of total control, where there is no freedom, and they're even trying to make clones and increase the subhuman nature of humanity, increase that instead of liberating us. It's more of a bondage, that's an oppression that's being imposed and superimposed on our reality. And to be able to overcome that is a challenge of all challenges. And I'm tired, folks, of the promises and excuses, and I want to see the real thing. The actual fulfillment of what has been told and reiterated again and again in many generations throughout human history. We've had this promise of something better. Well, it's time for the promises to be fulfilled. It's time for the excuses to come to an end. That's what I look for, and I believe that's what many of us look for. Anyway, I thank those of you that continue to listen and continue to pray for a better world and a better experience for humanity. that's what we all need. And of course, that's what I want. Namaste.